Commenting on the Knowby app.
This isn't a horror movie. This is the reality of dealing with people. Now, I want to play a game. It's late in the day. I want you to all get involved. I want you to put your right hand up if you've ever given someone instructions and they've failed in the outcome. And I want you to put your left hand up if you've ever received an instruction and you've got no idea either what they're trying to achieve or how to do it. Yeah, pretty interesting, eh? This next slide, probably a little bit over the top. But do you think an instruction on how to start the pivot might have been useful? Have you ever wondered why, when you've shown someone how to use a fence tester, they come back 2 hours later and there's still no power on the farm? And after much stress, you've worked out how to navigate your way through the database, and then 12 months later, you've got to work it all out again. What we really want to do is empower people so they can get stuff done. Now, our industry isn't special, but I challenge you, what does it cost you to onboard new staff? And what does it cost you when staff don't know how to use or maintain your expensive equipment? And what would a real health and safety event cost your business? And this is in an industry where verbal instructions are king. Just when you finish milking, hang the cups up, disconnect the vat, fill the wash drum up, open this valve, don't forget to turn the plate cooler off. It's really easy, eh? And we expect people to be able to pick that up and do it. Some businesses have gone to written material, but it's never where you want it. It's back in the office with dust on it. Some people have even gone to the effort of YouTube videos. But you know, they're always really long, really boring. And when you get to the bit you don't know, you've got to try and rewind it 5 times. Now, Knowby came to me out of my own personal frustration. The 5 a.m. phone call when I'm not milking because the teat spray pump's lost prime. The phone call when you're in town because the pivot's stuck and people can't really remember exactly how to get it working again. Probably I would suggest, like just about everyone in this room, first thing I did was blame my staff. But then I actually started to think, well, am I just crap at giving instructions? The reality is quite different. Our human brains are just not designed to be able to take in, retain and use short-term knowledge. We just don't work that way. I knew a manual was a waste of time. I did play around with making some videos. I showed it to a couple of neighbours. They said, yeah, great, I just want to know how to do it. I don't want to watch a 3-minute video. I was playing around at the time. I wasn't playing around, I was using WhatsApp at the time. It seemed fairly obvious. Images, text, one step at a time. Ironically, when I was 18, I had a real-life version of Knowby put in my hand. I was working for a fencing contractor. The first thing he did, this is for people old enough to remember life before gripples, was he did a figure-8 knot. He cut the ends off it, taped it up with insulation tape, biffed it at me and said, put it in your pocket. You'll need to refer back to that for the next week. That was Knowby. Now, I can't show you an app on a PowerPoint demonstration. But imagine you're scrolling through social media and instead of mindlessly watching cats dance or something similar, you've got rich media of images, short loop video and text showing you how to reprime that pump. Better still, print the QR code off directly out of the app, stick it on the pump. Empower people. Anyone, anywhere, any device, any language. How much easier would it have been to get that pivot going? And you know, the inexperienced staff member, I can refer back to how to find a fault just by opening this on the back of my fence tester. Now, it's not just the end user that wins here. Building a Knowby, again, is as simple as posting something on social media. Upload your image, put the text in, voice it in. But I'm really excited to announce that it was meant to be this week, but next week, Knowby's releasing our own version of AI. And I'm not talking about that one. As of next week, you'll be able to go out on farm or into your businesses and just record a process in a video, talk your way through it, one step at a time, upload it into our platform, and 30 seconds later, we will spit out a cut-up step-by-step instruction for you. So, onboard people easier, upskill them, empower them at point of need with how to do something, and make sure your equipment's maintained and used correctly. Build safe work procedures that actually might help make people safer. And it is all tracked in the background as well for compliance, for training, for safety compliance. So imagine a future where you don't get 15 text messages or phone calls a day asking you how to do something. Imagine if your service providers leave that bit of equipment on farm and there's QR codes on it linking to Knowby instructions on how to use it, how to maintain it, how to fix it. And to the service providers in the room, I challenge you, how much time every day do you and your staff spend on the phone dealing with these issues? And what does that cost you? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Grant. Thank you for my little gift as well.
It's not used.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a comfort. Ag tech's a bit of a crowded space these days. What makes Knowby different from other tech on the market, and are farmers actually using it already?
Yeah, look, we've got a number of farmers using it. I would say close to around 50 in Australia and New Zealand. Look, I'll be clear, Knowby's not an ag tech device. It is simply a platform to build instructions on. I'm here because I understand the ag sector and I know what it can do for it, and so that's where I'm focusing within our business. But it's literally a platform. You could build a recipe on it. You can build how to access Netflix on your TV. You know, it can be used for anything. There is nothing like it in the market.
Well done, Grant. You've answered the question to a degree. I was thinking there around service providers coming on farm as well. You mentioned that they might leave equipment and have the instructions with it, but I was thinking about tanker drivers or fertiliser spreaders, vets, etc. And the other one is you've mentioned your own, the ag sector, but have you had inquiry from other sectors, let alone ag, as to where this might go?
Yeah, look, Knowby's currently used in about 20 industries in 30 countries. So we are still a startup. But we're building reasonably quickly, very strong in manufacturing.
Okay. And then what challenges have you had that you might give tips to ag tech startups in Australia that you've had to overcome?
Well, I think it's the same for any startup. An idea is only a great idea if it solves a real problem, and that real problem must cost people either money or frustration. So I think you can have a great idea, but you've got to validate that there is a product market fit for that idea, that it's going to solve someone's problem and that's going to make that person happy enough to pay for it.
Well done. Thank you, Grant.
Thank
Please
you.
thank Grant. Well done. Well, that draws to the conclusion our Industry Innovators session. From a Gardner perspective, we're thrilled to be the sponsor of today's event. Earlier in the day, we saw Nathan Scott put up on a slide that had the lived experience, ambition and energy, and where those 3 points intersect creates opportunity. We're thrilled that our sponsorship provided an opportunity for our innovators, Grant, Michelle, Jose, Devore and Delina, to actually come up and actually share their innovation with you, with all of us. There's clearly a range of lived experience that they all have, from an entrepreneur like Grant, a dairy farmer and self-confessed data nerd like Michelle, and scientist. And then the scientists at Dairy Bio and Dairy Feed Base in Jose, Devore, Delaney and indeed Michelle. So well done to all of you, and Gardner was thrilled to be part of that innovation and opportunity panel. Thank you, John.
Today we saw 5 finalists on the stage, but we actually had to pick from 10 applicants to land at 5 for the stage.
That's right. It's going to be a challenge for the judges. I'm glad I'm not one of the judges.
Yeah. Look, to close out the session today, I'd like to acknowledge Nathan Scott. In case you didn't think he spent enough time on stage today, he also spent all of yesterday here undertaking presentation training with our finalists. Also, Sander, Kate, Cameron and Richard, our working group for this session. In particular, Richard Rawnsley has sat in this seat on the stage and on the ADC board for 10 years. In his last year on the board, he's been very generous in sharing his wisdom and also welcomed and made space for our influx of ideas and even offered up his seat on the stage today. Thank you, Richard.
Well done, Richard. Yeah.
Thank you again, Alan, for co-hosting what for me is a highlight on the ADC program. And this session wouldn't be possible without the support of the Gardner Foundation. So
Thanks, Jo. And I know that our chair, Len Stevens, is very much looking forward to presenting the award tonight at the gala dinner. So, thank you.